assume you don't want me to go ask for one.
Still the comedian. There's a security mainframe inside the detention camp's central command tower. You'll need to upload this copy of your biometrics there by hand. Contact me using your Infolink once you do. Any more questions?
Ich möchte mal etwas über Burke erfahren. Der Kerl scheint ja die Fäden in der Hand zu haben.
I'd like a little clarification here about you and Burke. I take it he outranks you.
Technically, yes. But this station is only part military stockade. And while he and his unit have 100% control over the detention camp, I have authority over the base.
So I don't need to worry that this is all just some creative attempt at mutiny.
Mutiny? You think I'd risk so much because... Listen close, Jensen. Burke is a sexist, chauvinist pig. And yes, he outranks me. He's also been in Bell Tower a lot longer than me, so he's got more connections. Which he's used to undermine me at every turn. But that is not why you and I are standing here right now. People are getting hurt. Innocent people. And we have to find out why and expose it.
Exposure could destroy Bell Tower.
Bell Tower used to have honor. We do this right, it might again someday.
Irgendwelche Hindernisse?
The guards in the prison complex. Are they Burke's men or yours?
Definitely Burke's. Highly trained, special operatives. So if you start a firefight in there, don't expect to live long.
I'll keep that in mind. I could use some more hardware. Any chance Corporal Tyler will have access to the armory?
You're still a fugitive, Jensen. I suggest you keep a very low profile. Still, there is someone who might be able to supply you. One of the base mechanics, a civilian named Quinn. He runs a nice sideline in procurement.
I know the type. Why should I trust him?
Because I do, and because he has no love for Burke. He's in the lower level maintenance area near the elevator. He'll get you what you need.
Okay, da also in den kleinen Wartungsschacht, den wir schon auf der Karte gesehen haben. Gut.
That's all I need to know.
Good. I'll upload to the security network from here, so get going. Al and Tyler will exist by the time you reach the prison security port. Just be careful and try not to draw too much attention.
Wenn wir schon nicht. So. Jetzt können wir irgendwas anstellen? Ah, hier hätten wir das Geschütz auch ausstellen können. Ohne zu hacken. Komme ich hier auch wieder hoch zur Not? Ja. Dumm, 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 die dumm, die dumm. Okay, da ist der Durchgang und der Personenaufzug war hier hinten. Das ist dann, glaube ich, die Nebenmission. Ja, Quinn. Gehen wir doch sicherlich mal als erstes hin. Karte. Die eigentliche Hauptmission führt mich hier zur Sicherheitskontrolle. Gut, gut. Okay, irgendwer hier unten. Schauen wir mal auf den Toiletten nach, ob hier wieder irgendwas Besonderes auf uns wartet. Die vergessen doch immer was auf den Toiletten. Ein kaputter Spiegel. Big Weapons. Ah ja. So. Wo ich denn hierher kommen können? Da muss ich einen Schacht übersehen haben. Wo bin ich hier? Typhoon-Munition und noch ein PDA. Okay, wie es aussieht, hätte ich hier sowieso gar nicht hinkommen können. Hier gibt es keinen anderen Weg. PDA. Anscheinend ein PDA, den wir schon haben. Moment, Herr Kumpel, ich habe gerade Kalibrierungsproblem Ihres kleinen Geschützes behoben. Er war nur ein einfaches Firmware-Update nötig, aber weil dieser Schisser von OPSEC es verlangt, muss ich auch das Passwort am Kontrollterminal zurücksetzen. Mhm. Laderampe 1. Ah, gut, Zugangscode haben wir jetzt auch. Für den Sicherheitscomputer wahrscheinlich, den wir schon längst gehackt haben. So. Ja, gehen wir auch nochmal auf die Frauentoilette. Wir wollen ja nur für Sauberkeit sorgen. Das sieht nach dem Aufzug aus. Wunderbar. Ah, da hinten sehe ich nichts. Okay. Schalten wir erstmal die Alarmanlage aus. Ups. Ich wollte eigentlich nur ganz normal übernehmen. Und kein Stop irgendwo. Egal.
Access granted.
Egal, deswegen rege ich mich jetzt nicht auf. So. Und abwärts. Komm, abwärts. Immer noch beschissenes Wetter da draußen. Geht ziemlich abwärts. Okay, ich glaube mal, mit dir können wir so reden. Ich würde ja gerne mal in deinen Raum kommen, ne?
Are you Quinn?
Yeah, that's me. Jensen, is it? You weren't followed, were you?
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah, I can believe that. They're having a hell of a time keeping up with you.
Der hat einen schönen Akzent. Brite, wie es scheint.
I like to play it by ear. Whatever works, works.
Practical man, aye. Just keep doing whatever you're doing. Maybe you won't bring the bass down around my ears.
Look, Keitner said you can help me. Can you?
Yeah, she told me to be expecting you. I'm just glad you came as soon as you did instead of going off on your own. There's enough kegs of powder lying around here already without throwing another loose cannon in the mix. You know how much we're risking to keep you off the radar? We've only got so much pull around here. It's Burke's show, and he'll do as he bloody well pleases, which means stamping out any rats the moment he gets wind of them.
I'm grateful, but can we get on with it? I understand you run a nice little sideline in procurement.
Aye. From time to time you might say being inclined to do a little, how should we call it? Bartering. On the side. Since the commander signed off on it, I suppose I could open my stock to you. For a price, that is.
You mean I have to pay?
What? Of course you have to bloody well pay. I ain't exactly a fucking armory quartermaster down here. I'm just a civvy contractor trying to make ends meet. This ain't a bleeding charity.
Considering the circumstances.
Circumstances? What, that you're a fugitive and I'm risking my neck just talking to you? What are you trying to pull here? Although, I don't suppose you had anything to do with the stasis pod that was saved back on the ship.
How do you know about that?
Ah, so it was you, eh? Well, let's just say I have me sources and your little random act of kindness didn't go unnoticed. Tell you what, I'll give you a discount on me wares. Just no freebies or handouts. But now that I think of it, if you're looking for a little something for nothing and don't mind a little legwork, I've got an errand that could use running. Consider it a special offer of sorts. Interested?
Erstmal mehr Informationen. über ihn.
What exactly do you do here, Quinn?
In a more civilized world, you might say I pass for the base's lead maintenance engineer. But if you look at it from Beltar's point of view, I might as well just be a glorified janitor. Pays good though, so, not complaining.
If the pay is good, why the underground market?
Well, why not? You see, civilian contractors operate under different jurisdiction when it comes to bringing outside goods into the base. So while the rank and file grunts can only order and receive essentials, toothpaste and the like, I, being the entrepreneurial chap that I am, offer them a more robust catalogue of goods and services. You know the sort. Smokes, beverages, and gentleman's literature.
How does this involve weapons?
Now, let me finish. As an enterprising fellow, I require an exchange of valuables for these slightly less than essential supplies, and often receive some very non-civilian contractor-regulated equipment in exchange, if you catch my drift. Now, normally, I launder my stock through a contact on the mainland, but a deal in Shanghai recently fell through, so lucky for you, I've got some excess inventory to move. Consider this whole arrangement a matter of fortunate timing.
And Keitner is okay with all of this?
Not exactly. You see, some time ago, the commander got wind of my little operation down here. But before she could throw me in the brig, I offered her something I knew she couldn't refuse. Information. I ain't bragging, but I'd managed to build myself quite a little network of sparrows and gophers. I'd known for a while that she'd been at odds with that prick Burke. In the end, we reached a rather simple mutual agreement. I keep her in the loop, and she keeps my neck out of the noose, so to speak.
Der hat sich hier ziemlich gut eingerichtet.
What can you tell me about this base?
Nothing you don't know, probably. To the outside world, it's a Beltar naval logistics headquarters and supply point for their Pacific operations. Beneath the surface, though, it's much, much more.
How so?
Look, nothing personal, mate, but I prefer if the commander did most of the informing. As far as I'm concerned, the less I know, and more importantly, the less I say in this matter, the better off we all are.
Also die Internierungscamps und so weiter. So, was weiß er denn über Keitner?
Tell me about the commander, Keitner.
Lieutenant Commander, officially. But the grunts don't pay no mind to that. She's the commander as far as they're concerned. It's the Reds who stick to the formalities, you see. Because they're Burke's boys. The spooks. Special operations. You might say there's a bit of a division of loyalty among the troops.
Between Keitner's men and Burke's?
Aye. Since time immemorial, there's always been a rivalry of sorts between grunts and spooks. I always assumed it came down to ego. But it's different here. Probably because Burke's different.
What do you mean?
Well, for a start, the man might be a righteous prick, but he's got the respect of his men. And the higher-ups think he's a visionary based on some fancy tech he drummed up a few years back. In other words, the man's got a lot of influence and a lot of power, and, well, I don't think that old proverb needs repeating here.
Was für eine Technologie hat Burke vor Zeiten entwickelt? So, erzählen wir mal was über dein, ja, super Special Sonderangebot.
Alright, tell me about this special offer.
Look, I don't know if you've noticed yet, but this base is packing some serious heat. Especially in the form of those walking brick shithouse boxcars. If you get me a few odds and ends, I might be able to whip up a little something to make getting around easier, if you catch my meaning.
What kind of something are we talking about here?
Nothing fancy. Just a 329 series MPRS.
A rocket launcher?
That's right, mate. And custom built. By yours truly, of course. You see, while I might be able to get my fingers on some low-level arms, I'm a little restricted when it comes to military-grade bells and whistles. And I'm itching to try out a new trigger propulsion mix. Maybe even recalibrate the guidance system for some extra punch.
Improvisierte Sprengsätze sind nicht ganz mein Stil. Aber könnte hilfreich sein, ja?
While I find your enthusiasm for explosives slightly disturbing, something like this could come in handy.
Like I always say, speaking soft is for the birds when you got the biggest stick on the block. Look, all you gotta do is find me some components. I'll do the rest. An earlier boat had a shipment of 329s, but I wasn't able to poach any of them before they made it to the armory. Luckily, little Sparrow in my employ managed to lose one through maintenance circulation, but he got himself shit canned before I could collect. Now my little bute's lying around the base somewhere in bloody pieces. The launcher, I mean, not the wee man. Though, what idea really happened to him?
Right, so, long story short, you need me to find the parts and bring them back to you.
Yeah, that about sums it up, I'd say. Just find me the trigger module, scope assembly, and launch a barrel, and we're in business. I can scrape up the rest from leftovers here in the shop.
I think I already found one.
Hey, let me see what you got there. That's the 329's trigger module. Let me know when you find the other two.
Genau, den Abzug haben wir schon gefunden. So. Information, nö. Ich möchte gerne meinen Laden betreten.
No money back guarantee or warranty. You break it, you buy it.
So, verkaufen vor allem. Hier, das Bier. Schmerzmittel werde ich bestimmt auch noch was von verkaufen. Hier, den Mist weg. So, die Pistole auch weg. Dem können wir vielleicht noch was anfangen. Eigentlich Blödsinn, dass da stand, den Laden betreten. Was? Er gibt mir Rabatt. Stimmt, weil ich die Person da gerettet habe. Schön. Schön, schön. Hat sich das für mich also wirklich gelohnt. Laserzielsystem ist für was nochmal? Egal. Oh, ihr habt ein Praxiskit. Können wir uns sogar leisten. Nehmen wir her damit. Raketen, nö. Moment, MP-Munition. Elektroschockpfeile. Kurze Distanz. Ja, das sind die Dinger, die wir brauchen. Jo.
Thanks for shopping at Quinmart.
Quinmart. Warum nicht? Dass da irgendwie einen Weg reingibt? Muss ja eigentlich. Ah! So, der wird auch bestimmt sauer, wenn wir da nachher da durchkrabbeln. Untersuchen. Jetzt haben wir zumindest mal wieder etwas Platz. Okay, keine Ahnung, wo ich hier jetzt rauskommen würde. Aber wie es aussieht, kann man vielleicht den Aufzug umgehen. Und das sieht gefährlich aus. Autsch. Nochmal. Vielleicht braucht man dafür dann aber auch das Sprung-Upgrade. Da oben liegt... Okay. Übereck. Klassische Jump-One-Regel. Das Geld. Gar nicht mal so wenig. So, wo sind wir denn hier? Oh, irgendwo, wo eine Kamera in der Nähe ist. Ach, wie sind wir denn jetzt hier hingekommen? Na gut. Und da hinten ist auch eine. Ah, und hier ist der Verladerampenbereich. Okay, sind wir also an diesem Punkt. So. Dann machen wir hier jetzt mal... Ja, Schluss für heute. Ist ein guter Punkt. Wir haben Quinn getroffen. Keiner getroffen, neue Ziele bekommen. Wissen wir also, was als nächstes zu tun ist. Herausfinden, was auf dieser Station hier losgeht. Also, bis später, Leute. Ciao, ciao.